Hello and welcome to What the Football. It's on as always here on India Post Live, talking about all things happening in the World Cup Brazil this year. Joining me as always is Chaitanya, and on Google Hangout we've got Nipun and Nikhil. Nipun works at the Football Link, working at development of football in India, which is great. Nikhil is an avid sports fan, avid football fan, Chelsea supporter if I'm not mistaken.
Devout Chelsea supporter
Chelsea
if I'm not
supporter. Happy days. Well, no clubs today, all
No
down
clubs.
to the World Cup. And we're going to start with a little bit of something mellow and chill to get you guys in the mood, which is the best of the ads, the football ads that have been going around. Mainly Nike. Adidas haven't really shown up. They've played. Nike have risked everything with their Risk Everything campaign, and it's turned out good. So have a little look at this package, and we're going to talk a little bit of fun stuff on top of it while it's going. Let's go ahead and take a look at the best of the packages. Right, the first one obviously is the Beats by Dre campaign that's advertising on your headphone. Really gets the game behind the game going on. I love this one. It's it came out just a couple of weeks ago, I think. Shows everyone warming up. I just really like it. It's really, and I don't know about the headphones themselves, but the ad is great. No one really explores this one area of the game before the game.
It's become a football accessory of late. You see everyone coming into training,
getting into
different
their
colors.
zone. Getting into their zone. And then here, a very Pixar-like animated version, and it's called The Lost Game. It's a story about clones that are based on these players.
I like what you have done with the place.
The game that we love is dying. The clones, they're
And of course,
killing
leading
it.
them is
We must rise up and
I love this line, that's
Sorry,
why I
let
stopped
me
you.
just pause.
We all want to destroy the clones, but they're unbeatable. Zlatan agrees.
Gotta love it, gotta love it. Anyway, it's awesome. That's what these guys are taking on the clones by the end of it. It's a great piece of advertising, I gotta say. This year they've really outdone themselves with the ads. And coming up after this one, once Ronaldo's done, doing some, wow, that's mad.
might end up seeing.
I love the way they do this. Can you imagine if they actually did this in real life? And then swapping on to the real life version, the winner stays on. This is the first one that came out a while ago. It's great. It's all of us playing in the playground, picking your players, becoming them, knocking the ball around. It's all around the Risk Everything campaign, which is very much what everyone's going to be doing this World Cup. I love it when there's a David Luiz's doppelganger. That is great.
And we have the Avengers. In
You
it.
got me the Hulk. Well, fun, man. You know, I think it's the whole thing. You know, the Super Bowl is always touted for having all these awesome ads. I think football this is maybe the last area that they had like
And they've
had to get the
banked on it
publicity on.
already.
They've always had great football ads, but it's become like a thing now. So these are awesome.
And there's everyone, the who's who of the current
Risk
footballing world.
everything. There we go. Well, happy days, guys, happy days, but not so happy days. There has been a lot of controversy going around this World Cup and future World Cups indeed. With Brazil right now, all the stuff going on over there. Chaitanya is going to talk you through it. But we're going to start by jumping into the future a little bit, talking about the controversy in the Qatar 2022 bid.
Well, not even a ball has been kicked, let alone the stadium's been done, and it's already shrouded in doubt and controversy with Mohammed bin Hammam at the center of it all. Wouldn't stop bribing everyone. Has reportedly bribed 30 heads of football associations
£3 million or so.
in total, taking them on lavish trips to Maldives, lavishing them with gifts. And a certain Jack Warner, who was part of the committee in 2010, who actually made the call on who gets the bid in 2018 and 2022, spent close to £1 million on a single person itself. So just shows you would go to any extent to pollute football which has been incorruptible.
There's no need to do it. You've got the bid. They had that amazing video about all their stadiums.
The
that they
bid,
were gonna
yeah.
do. I mean,
The stadium bid was beautiful, and it'll be sad if Qatar loses its bid, because doubts have been cast over its candidacy for the World Cup, and there are probably ideas and rumors of, well, revoking the entire bid and re-voting again. So that'd be a huge loss to Qatar, who wants to leave a mark on the footballing world, which it hasn't been able to do in the past 10 years.
At least on the pitch, definitely not. But more importantly, what's happening down in Brazil has been a bit of a thing, considering the amount of money that's been put into the stadiums, into the infrastructure for the World Cup, in a country like Brazil, where there is a lot of poverty, where there is a lot of struggle and strife. There have been mixed opinions as to whether this was a good thing or not. To talk us through a little bit about
I think
that.
you and me are happy. I think Nikhil and Nipun is happy that Brazil is going to the home of football, going to their own country for the World Cup. But I think the people themselves in the country are not in fact happy. Let aside, they are protesting vociferously against the team. When the Brazilian team landed in Rio to start their warm-up, they were greeted with protests and riots all around. And one of the pictures which has become the face of this anti-protest campaign is one which was surprisingly shared by 50,000 people on Facebook.
50,000,
It's
so
the,
that's
it's the picture we have.
Basically, there's a lot of street art going on all of these things.
On this, this is this
Protesting
graffiti we
Let's
have.
have a
This
look
is
at them.
the-
That's become the picture that's really making some noises. Can we scan through a couple of more of these? Because some of them are really, really great.
Again, this needs no description, this needs no introduction. This is what the Brazilian public will go through if
Yeah.
during the World Cup, and God forbid if Brazil don't win the entire thing.
Let's keep going through as many of those as we've got, because I really wanted to show you guys there is a dark side to this World Cup. I mean, there's Neymar is looking like a bad man over there. Let's have a look at the next
not the
one.
Neymar
also.
we'd want to
let's
see.
go through them. Yeah,
Again,
I mean,
saddening
It
images
tells
all
a lot.
across the country, which celebrates its football, treats it like a religion, as we've heard so much more. Really puts it all into perspective of where the country wants to be and what it loves and what it actually needs, because the cost of the World Cup is way over the Brazilian government's heads. Sure, it's a boost for tourism, but as they said, they don't want them. FIFA, go home.
FIFA go home.
It's a very
well,
strong statement for an event which was really loved and adored by everyone, but has again reared its ugly head. The economy and the crisis in Brazil has reared its ugly head in the midst of this tournament.
Absolutely. Well, that is the dark side of it, guys. We'll try and get it back on a happier note, and
Yeah.
let's talk to our guests that we've got on, Nikhil and Nipun. We've got there as well. Now, guys, we're going to throw a little bit of trivia your way and see what you take on it. Right? Who wants to take this? Hand in the air. Who wants to take this trivia fact? If not, I'm just going to select the Chelsea supporter because I'm an Arsenal supporter and I want to see you maybe not get it.
Let's go for that.
Alrighty. Who is indeed the oldest person to have scored in a World Cup?
Who is the oldest person?
Yes, this is our what the fact. Whoops, dropped my facts. I'll give you a 3-second timer. 3, 2, 1, done.
Done, yep.
Sorry. He was trying to Google it.
Yeah,
I
he was
trying to Google it.
See, he was trying to Google it. Smart there, aren't you, Nikhil?
All right, Chaitanya, nip this at the bud and let's take a look.
I think you would have been close to it, but the only recognizing name that you come is our What the Fact. It's old as gold, and Roger Milla was as good as gold for Cameroon when he hit the back of the net, and he was 42 years and 39 days.
Fantastic.
Not only did he appear in that game, he scored. So
Fair play to him. Right, on to the news, guys. We're going to chat a little bit about the news now. Guys, what you guys have been on the pages? What's the latest that you? There's the what the fact. A little bit late on the screen there, guys. Just to sum it up, there's the facts and figures for you. 42 years and 39 days. That's great. Get rid of it. Let's move on to the news. Right. So here's some fun stuff again. We've got Javier Mascherano, who has been taking some photos with his camera phone or whatever he's got there, and just tweeting and Instagramming and all this fun stuff. He is taking a photo of the Argentina team as they were coming down to Brazil to get ready for their tournament, and indeed their room allocations. Well, and it turns out Messi and Kun will be sharing. Will be sharing indeed.
the room, striking duties, the goals, the World Cup, I think they're going to be sharing a lot if they hit the right kind of form, don't they?
Indeedy. Meanwhile, Luis Suarez is close to full fitness. Apparently, he's on some triple training. Nipun, Luis Suarez coming back. Would you risk it? I mean, they're saying you're not going to play him in the first couple of games. Would you, if you were the manager, would you hold out for a while until he's fully fit, or would you play him as soon as he's sort of, let's say, 80%?
The player like Suarez, you would want him on the field as soon as possible. But considering they have Cavani out there, they have the experience of Holland out there. I think they can do that also mean that maybe if the group if they go out with the group, then maybe you're going to be somewhere down the line in the tournament.
Absolutely, absolutely. Suarez is going to be key to that team as well. I mean, I know Cavani is also down there, but he needs his partner.
I think not only
that.
in the tournament, again, what we know, but then we keep rotating on fitnesses is they are all in the group of death. He needs to be there in the group more than in the tournament further, because you never know who will qualify from that group. So it's very imperative they have their star man up front, fit and raring to go.
True say. The odds, in fact, put a lot of those teams in the group
25 to 1.
25 to 1. Nick Hill, do you agree with that? We did an oopsies, dropped my pen again. Nick Hill, we did sort of an episode yesterday, and we were talking about the odds and stuff. We were shocked to find that France, Italy, and England all in the same group, all on the same odds to win. Is that based on the group, or is that just because the teams are the same? What do you reckon?
I actually think it's because the teams are so good now. If you actually look at the World Cup nowadays, you'll find that a lot more teams come to compete. So I think there's a lot more even ground than there was before. See, personally, in this so-called group of death, where you have Italy, you have England, you have Uruguay, and then you have Costa Rica, you'd be surprised. Costa Rica aren't underdogs at any point, considering that they have, at a certain point in time within this last CONCACAF, beaten teams like Mexico, USA, Honduras.
And of course, as we've mentioned many times before, the conditions down there in Brazil will also play a factor. Let's move on a little bit on the news. Thomas Müller signs a new contract, disappointing you guys at United, but he has signed with Bayern. He's on till, he says, in fact, and I quote, "I'm very happy about extending my contract with FC Bayern until 2019. So he's in for a long time, and Philipp Lahm is also signed his till 2018, so they are under control there.
Funny how statements change in a week, that I want to know my role and I'm happy I never changed my mind. It's just a couple of days, that's what it takes.
Indeedy. Well, we'll have all that transfer stuff going in and around when it stops. But England, among their other their injury woes for this coming World Cup, with the Ox and now Welbeck with some issues, have hit possibly another speed bump in the form of malaria. Now, they've all taken their tablets for it, but it turns out that 1 in 10 people are prone to severe side effects from these things. So that could suck, and that includes like nausea, diarrhea, and stuff that we wouldn't want to see on the pitch. Really gross. So, I know, vivid imagery. My bad. Right. They're in trouble over there. Let's hope none of them really gets sick. England, yes, please don't suck. Yes. Right. Now, on to some fun stuff with referees.
Vanishing sprays?
Vanishing sprays. Guys, have you checked this out? Nipun, have you checked this out with the vanishing sprays that referees have been using these days? That Howard Webb has come out and said that he plans to use a lot more of during this World Cup. Essentially, we've got some images about it. Essentially, it's a spray that you can set around the player and the ball to determine that length that the wall needs to stand away from the ball during spot.
Free kick spots and throw-in spots to be specific, because a lot of players try very sly and keep running a yard or two to throw the ball.
You think this is unnecessary, or you think do we really need this, or do referees just have to have a better sense of distance?
I just think that United will referee, and if there is a second situation, rather taking it rather than looking around. What happens a lot of times is the referee walks away doing his walk, counting 10 yards, and he turns around, the player's already taken the ball somewhere else, and then he I think it's, you could use it, but I don't know, somehow just increases what they have to do. But isn't really.
As well as perhaps adding a good little 5 seconds of taking 5 seconds of extra time. So that's
It's going to add on to
that's
the
up for-
accessory of the goal line technology along too. So it's going to be
Absolutely,
another.
absolutely. Guys, we'd like to hear what you think about all these vanishing sprays and Brazil and its strife, Qatar and their issues, or anything in the World Cup in general if you don't feel like being sad. Do use the hashtag WTFootball and tweet into us on India Post Live at India Post Live. That's our handle. And what else we got on the news? Let's move on a little. Roberto Mancini has left Galatasaray after 9 months. It seems, despite having good clubs and doing well, he still gets the boot.
I think, again, just like Thomas Muller, how statements change. Only 2 days back, Roberto Mancini was very adamant on him staying at Galatasaray. But I think what the Turkish club did not sit well with Mancini was the fact that, again, Fenerbahce took a huge lead in the Turkish league. They got knocked out of their League Cup. They were very tame in the Champions League. The European experience that Mancini was rumored to get.
What's wrong with me?
Butterfingers. While he sorts it out. Mancini forgot to sort it out at Galatasaray, and hence you need more scarves.
Considering they're the only big team in their league,
Yeah.
pretty much, to finish
Yeah.
second is still just not good enough. So
The kind of talent like Yilmaz, Drogba and Schneider,
And
it's
Schneider's there,
imperative
exactly.
you finish first.
sorry if I'm making a lot of crackling noises.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get my papers in order. It's all gone awry. Anywho, and finally, there's a nice little. I'm going to go ahead and just say a quickie on Carlos Vela Arsenal are activating his buyout clause. He will be coming back on the cheap. He's done really well for Real Sociedad down in Spain. So
Notice how he
good stuff.
finished that all in one breath, and he just said, I want to sneak that in. Make a note, audience.
Actually, no, because I wanted to leave the last piece of news for you because it's the one that you showed me to. Yes, yes, yes. Which is about all the Muslim stars of this World Cup.
Yeah, the Ramadan is setting in July, and I think this has only happened before in 1986.
86.
And a lot of Ivorian stars, a lot of French stars are going to be, well, kind of in the middle of their spells of fasts and playing in this.
Including there's going to Mesut Ozil as well.
Karim Benzema,
Yeah.
another striker.
Yaya
who will
Toure,
be-
Dzeko. Oh,
A lot of them, to name a few, and they will be, again, with this sweltering heat in Brazil, it'll be very, very
It'll be
difficult
tough,
to manage
tough.
their fasts and their diets along to Brazil. So, well,
absolutely. So that's an interesting fact that we have to look out for.
a lot of
especially when
variables in this year's World
Yeah,
Cup. don't
especially
we?
when doing your fantasy teams and all. Who knows? Guys, sorry, I know I've been ignoring you a little bit. I want to bring you in now. We're going to do a little top 5 countdown of the best players who are in their last World Cup, right? We'll go through the list and we'll take your comments on all of them after I do a wee summary. So let's just rock on with number 5 straight away. Number 5 is Steven Gerrard. There he is. At age 32, the guy has played 111 caps. He's got 21 goals. He made his debut in 2000, and he's captain since 2010. Guys on Hangout, Stevie Gerrard, does he deserve to be on this list of players? Because we have left out. I'll tell you who we've left out first of all. Is we've left out Van Persie. We've
Yes.
left out
Daniele
Casillas,
De Rossi.
and we've left out De Rossi as well. So that's the people who have left out. So you tell me if this is this warranted. Stevie Gerrard in at number 5.
As a Chelsea fan, I'd say no, considering he said no to coming to Chelsea and then back. But at the end of the day, if you honestly see Gerrard, I personally think that he and De Rossi would be a tight squeeze because De Rossi has done it all. If you look at it,
Yep.
where Gerrard hasn't really done anything in the league.
Have you
This
ever
is
seen Gerrard
absolutely
in
a
the
point.
league?
And in terms of international accomplishments as well, Stevie G is lacking in that department. So it's an interesting pick that we've put, but it is one that the other discussion is that in terms of heart and soul and a player being super important and consistent throughout his career is the other option. So do you weigh pure records against his actual impact? There's the impact on paper and there's the impact on the soul. What's more important, would you say, in your opinion?
Well, yeah, I mean, his impact has been fantastic for England. They always play like a better team when he's in the squad.
Yep.
But what does England ever achieve? Because if you actually look at it, Daniele De Rossi and Gattuso were two sort of
Got two soon.
But he's already
players
out.
that carried a team like Italy all the way to the finals
Yep.
and then eventually on to the World Cup.
True. It's a very, very valid point about De Rossi.
Absolutely. Into number 4 then, and number 4, he could have perhaps been higher, but number 4 is Xavi, Spain's Xavi in at number 4. At age 34, this guy is a two-time World Cup, two-time Euro winner, and a one-time World Cup winner. Those are, of course, back-to-back. They finished up runners-up in the Confederations Cup, and now they're perhaps in for another
Heading
one
in
this year.
as favourites,
Let's
not
say,
firm favourites, but
apparently
serious
4
contenders,
favourites
yeah.
according to the odds, but that's weird. But Xavi, in terms of impact, despite only 13 goals out of his thing, it's the assists that have really counted here. And if you think back, it was actually in 2010 that it was his cross to where Puyol headed it. That was him that got them in 2010 in the World Cup, and he's the most he's the most successful player in Spanish football history. So I think number 4, Xavi, is solid there. Guys, any complaints with that? Xavi in at number 4, Xavi in on the list.
The only thing is, do you have Iniesta also on the list?
Iniesta is not on the list. It was a toss-up between them, actually.
That's where I would
Because,
have my
yeah,
own,
Iniesta also has come through semi-finals versus Chelsea, but then again, that's also club.
But I think
So-
Iniesta, in all fairness, Nikhil, I think has another 4 years in him left, considering he's not as old as Xavi. And with Xavi gone, I think they'll replace the kind of versatility you need in midfield.
Iniesta's
with
how old
Iniesta.
now? He's
28, 29. So,
What?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
him and Robin,
Never age.
they have to not be bald, and then I can tell what age they are. Right? Yeah. So he'll probably be there next World Cup as well, perhaps.
Yeah.
So
It depends on whether he's at Barcelona or playing in the MLS.
well, given the guy's ability and talent, it's not like he's the paciest guy, and his feet are magic. So I think at any age he's still
Yeah.
going to be able to pull.
Yeah.
Because that guy has a brain and a half. He reads the
Xavi
game like
Alonso
no
on
other.
this.
Huh?
Xavi Alonso, because he's 32.
Again, yes, but does he make the cut of the best players to be in there? Because I'll tell you why. Because at number 3 we've got Andrea Pirlo.
Oh, the man.
Now that's a man who's sorted.
There's a man, and at 35 he's still in. That's crazy. He's just signed a new contract with Juve for
2 years.
2 years, so he's good to go. World Cup winner. I've had an interesting. Yes. Assists, goals. The guy's got.
He can do anything.
All.
He can take a free kick from half a step, can take a Panenka from half a step.
The penalty, the
Can
4-2
do
game against
anything you
England.
want.
That's
Can
exactly
do
what I was
anything you
trying to
want.
remember. So number 3, guys. Anyone disagree over there?
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Andrea Pirlo securely in at number 2. And number 2 rather. 3 we just did. Number 2 is going to be held by another Italian. Another reason why we didn't have De Rossi earlier, because, can't have so many Italians. It's just going to be boring and defensive. We've got Buffon. Gianluigi Buffon. He's
I
at
think
36.
I'd like to get Nipun on this, because there's something we have seen, and me and Aditya have discussed as much as Nipun and I have done, is that we've tried every form of games, and like we said, Buffon is unstoppable in game mode, unstoppable in FIFA mode, unstoppable in training mode. I'm very sure has I think saves balls in its sleep or something.
He does. That sounds really
So
odd.
it's a solid pick in number 2, considering he's old enough to play his last World
Yeah,
Cup.
he'll be 30 by the time the next one comes. He'll be 40 by the time the next one comes around. So,
the next World Cup.
Who knows? Schwartz is still playing at 40.
Though the lifespan for goalkeepers longer, so you may see him next World Cup also.
Yeah, that's a the reality is, unless Vito Manoni, Formula Arsenal star.
As the goalie for so long, you may actually see him next World Cup again.
It's true. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I think
at 37, I think he's pushing it.
Think back 4 years to 2010 and think to now. Think of the average strengths of all the teams and players these days. And then consider the level of the game is considerably up on the average. I don't know if he'll be able to keep up. So let's hope he is there, because he is awesome. And to number one. Now, number one could have been a lot of things, but on sheer merit of being selected as the only striker in the German team,
Miroslav
Miroslav
Klose
Klose.
steals the cake.
Joachim
Joachim Löw. Joachim Löw.
Really in like this weird mode today. Joachim Löw was criticized for selection of Klose as the only striker, and at 36 years of age. Mind you, he has just passed Gerd Muller's record goals, so that's pretty cool at 69 goals, and that was just now on the 6th of June. So
He still has goals in him, and considering the German team are very fast around, I don't think he needs to do a lot of running. I think it'll be fed to him with Ozil at the back, Götze behind him, Schweinsteiger again. The talent that Germany have, they just need an outlet, and with Klose, they have a potent, consistent outlet throughout the years. The years have rolled, the goals haven't dried up for him, and he comes in his own in the World Cup.
But who's gonna? I want to ask guys on Hangout this: who, if he does, God forbid, have some sort of an injury, who is Germany going to stick up there? It's between Muller and Podolski. Are they going to play them up front?
And even a Chelsea recruit in Schürrle.
Oh yeah. Ah, there we go.
I really do think that, because he's quick, he's strong, he can hold the ball up. Whereas Podolski is more of a winger now for Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm not so happy with that winger position of his, but I do agree with you there. Schürrle, I had actually forgotten, so rock and roll, that's who is there. But let's hope Klose sticks on.
On your list, you've missed out people like Maicon and...
But as in the top 5, had we done a top 10? Who else? Okay, so we
World Cup winners on
De Rossi and Casillas are givens, right? Who else would you have mentioned?
Give them to each. Let's complete the top 10.
Has a World Cup with them.
Huh?
I think Maicon is definitely a guy you'd put in, considering he has won the World Cup.
Right. All right. So
maybe a Drogba, because this is his swan song if you look at it.
Again,
Drogba, but nothing. He's not done. I mean,
I think this is Chelsea talking more than Ivory Coast.
I think this is Chelsea talking. We do actually have a lot to get through here, so I'm going to just jump on to the next bit of our show, which is I'm going to tell you guys a bit more. As you know, we have a World Cup prize for our competition that you can enter through the website on indiapostlive.com. That is to win a trip to Brazil, and we have got 3 contests that you can take part in. One is to pick your 2014 Dream Team, which will include teams from the participating 2014 World Cup. Pick your Dream Team. It'll be measured against the averages of everyone else who's picked those teams. So let's say if everyone picked Messi as striker, whoever picks Messi gets the points in their sort of system, and that's how it works. The details are on the website if I'm not being clear, which I know I'm not. So that's that. You can also pick your all-time dream team, which is pretty self-explanatory. Best of the best from the best of times. So pick your all, and this is going to be measured against, again, the maximum amount of votes for those players. And starting from the 12th of June, we also have our Be the Coach selection. You can pick the starting 11s for the matches that will be played in the 2014 World Cup. And if you get it right, you will get yourself a prize. But for the mega prize, for the Dream Team, we have picked our own little dream teams, but we have not told each other yet what they are.
Something we decided in the evening because we wanted to see who is where, and let me tell you, even before his team rolls in, my team's gonna pummel his to the ground because of obvious selections, obvious picks of the World Cup. So let's go.
All right, let's bring mine up here. Let's bring up my team.
What is it called?
We've called it the Goon Squad.
Have you now?
I have.
So
there's not one.
Before you start with the team.
Although for a team called Goon Squad, we're actually missing. We only have one Gooner.
So this team is going to reach the semi-finals and get knocked out. Fourth place, right?
This team is actually
very good.
I've actually think statistically based on who will get points. If you're playing a fantasy team, this is the team that I've selected in terms of people who are going to score a lot of points.
I'm actually surprisingly It's a very good team. There are a couple of names I'm thinking
balanced.
myself.
It's a very attacking team I've picked. I've
very
got no
good team.
CDMs. These guys are both going to play attacking CM positions. Ozil is going to hold them up. Ronaldo and Ozil, that's reuniting the Madrid boys. Messi and Neymar will do their things. I wish this team really existed. So this is my solid goon squad that is going to think. Nipun, any thoughts on the goon squad? Nipun has left.
Nipun has left.
I think his connection was having a little bit of a problem. Nikhil, any thoughts on the goon squad?
Neymar.
Neymar, actually, I was debating Neymar and your Azad. It was a toss-up between those two.
I honestly don't see any swimming pools on the pitch, so I would have never taken Neymar.
And we thought we'd forget a section
like
called
this guy.
memes in the show. There's already one.
For the Olympics, Neymar's on my squad.
Oh, yeah, sure. He's
Hey.
a good pick for the Olympics. Yep, good pick for the Olympics.
Jumping jacks. Anywho, let's move on to your team, sir.
It's called the
Bring it up.
Selekau 11 because they're the selected 11, the
I
chosen
see,
ones.
The chosen ones.
And it's kind of similar to your team,
Okay.
but I've gone for the German
Okay.
presence
So
in my
you've
team.
got one change in the back, which is Hummels.
I've got the past masters in Pirlo and Xavi. They will get
Yeah,
assists
you've gone
back
for the
and forth.
experience there.
Ozil, you and me share.
You know, for the amount of stick you've given me the entire season for Ozil, and you go ahead and pick him there.
I think he plays better in a German shirt than an Arsenal shirt. Just saying.
We will see.
Ronaldo and Neymar, well, Nikhil, I'm sorry, there might not be swimming pools, but Neymar's a different animal when he wears the Brazil jersey.
Indeed he is.
And
That's what got him recognized.
surprisingly,
in the first place.
I think Aguero's going to get more goals than Messi. There, I said it. You can take me up on it.
Well, there is a hashtag if I've ever heard one. There's a WTF moment if I've
Yep.
ever heard one.
There's a what the football
What
moment.
the football
I do not know
moment.
what else you
Yes,
infer.
nothing. I only know what the football. WTF, man.
Okay.
Right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of the show today. Guys, thanks for joining me on Google Hangout. Nikhil is still there and looking very happy that we've mentioned Chelsea things today.
Well, I just have one thing.
I would like to hear your closing thoughts on anything that we've done
Pass me
today.
a fun fact,
Say that again?
right? Pass me the Roger Miller fact. Now, I'm saying you won that one, hands down. But now do the Roger Miller dance.
Oh, hey.
Since you're wearing the Cameroonian colors, why don't you go ahead?
I'm not doing any dances over here. I've been dropping things all day. If I dance, I'm probably going to fall.
And
I
if
think
he
we've had enough
dances, there's your
embarrassment.
WTF moment right here.
Hey, what the football moments. I like this guy. I want to see him again.
We
He
will
is
see
cool.
him tomorrow.
But not once the Premier League starts. Then I don't want to see
Yeah.
him. Then
I don't want to see you when the Premier League
I don't
starts.
want to see anyone when the
Please.
Premier League starts. Anyway, right. Final thoughts from you today on what we've been talking about. Anything that stands out that you want to stress on? You want to
I
bring back
still
for a
want to
second
urge
thought?
everyone to join us to make their fantasy teams because, again, you can have as much as you want. There are no fund problems. You can have as many players from each country as you want. So select away
Go nuts.
and win away.
Win away. Although selecting all from one country is not probably the best strategy because
No,
remember,
yep.
it is based on votes of everyone who've voted for those players in those positions, let's say. Again, the details are on the website, that is indiapostlive.com. And again, guys, do write it. Oh, yes, you can send your team submissions via video, via text, via a Facebook message. However you want to do it is up to you. It's the age of the internet. If we can't handle it, that's our problem, not yours. You send it in as you see fit. Right. Also, do send in your fan videos about what you're doing for this World Cup. We'd love to take a look at that. If you send some cool stuff, we'd be happy to air it as well. Otherwise, from Chaitanya and I.
What
here
if they're
in
not doing
studio-
anything on the World Cup, during the World Cup games? Do we have
Then,
something?
no, then I just don't want to speak to anybody.
Oh my God.
If you're not doing anything for the World Cup, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Exactly. Nada. Right. Well, until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight on What the Football?
Again,
What the Football?
it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's the same
What
thing.
else would you infer from it?
True say. Right, well, that is the end of our episode today. Thanks so much for joining, guys. We will see you next time.